What's up, guys? Vunter/MG here, and today I'd like to talk about something that a lot of people want back off the ban list, and that a lot of people also want to stay gone forever: Royal Oppression. In case you don't know what it is, Royal Oppression is basically a walking solemn warning. It only costs 800 life points, and then either player can negate the special summon of a monster, or an effect that would special summon a monster. Either player can use it, and it's a continuous trap card. So its only drawbacks are that it can be MST'd and chained to stop it, and that it doesn't stop normal summons in the same way that Solemn Warning and Solemn Judgment do. Now lately, there's been a lot of talk of the new ban list coming out, and every Facebook group I'm in and every YouTube video that I see about the ban list has someone saying that they want Royal Oppression back, so that way they can balance out the game. Now, there's just a couple of problems with that. Whenever someone suggests limiting or banning a card, it's hard not to be selfish about it and only want to ban things that are bad for your deck or bring back things that are good for your deck and that fit your playstyle. But we're all human. We all want to be better than everyone else. Things like that happen. The problem with a lot of cards that I see people wanting to come back is that they forget that their opponent can use those same cards too, and I feel that Royal Oppression is a victim of this. For example, imagine playing against Windups. They go Magician Shark, Windup Factory, do all their shenanigans, and set Royal Oppression. I mean, how in the world do you come back from that? Any answer short of being psychic and knowing that it's a Royal Oppression would require you to play around everything, especially once they actually activate it. And most of the time, you want to get that Windup Factory off the field so that way they don't start drawing rats and start doing stuff again. So it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. Another bad thing with Windups is that they'll just go into Shockmaster, call spells, set Oppression and some other back row, like Solemns or Bottomlesses or something, and then you gotta play around even worse. Like, the only thing that you can do there, if they go Shockmaster, call spells, and set Oppression, is summon something like Exiled Force and blow up Shockmaster, then Heavy Storm, and then you're back on an even playing field. Except you had to use stuff, and you're running Exiled Force, which really isn't really a card right now. I mean, yeah, having a cheaper Solemn Warning that can stop all special summons outside of the damage step. Yes, Royal Oppression cannot stop Gorz and Tragoedia in the damage step. But having that would be great, especially if you have an opponent who doesn't know how to use it very well and leaves it on the field for you. It's just, that's one of the bad things about it. But bringing it back gives the top tier decks a new toy to play with. And that's just bad. Now, if Windups weren't a bad enough example, imagine it in Dino Rabbit. Think about how much back row Dino Rabbit runs. They run Bottomlesses, Solemns of all kinds, Compulse, Lances, Starlight Robe, D-Prison, Mirror Force, and now most of them play Macrocosmos. So, you're telling me that you want to give your opponent more things to protect his Logia, and more things to stop you from getting over his Logias and Dolkas? I mean, there are plenty of other cards. Well, not plenty, but there are other cards that can stop special summons. Not as well as Oppression or Solemn Warning, but there are cards out there that can stop at least inherent summons. Like Blackhorn of Heaven. It can negate XYZ summons, Synchro summons, Contact, Fusions, inherent special summons such as BLS, Cyber Dragon, things like that. Now, any arguments after bringing up these points will be something like, oh, Gus, you don't always open Shark, Magician, and Factory, so adding Oppression to that will make it hard to be opening with, and you don't always open Rescue Rabbit and tons of back row. And no, you won't. Not 100% of the time. But how often do Windups open Magician and Shark, or just some sort of combo to start doing stuff? It's enough to make them top tier, which is why they're good. And how often does Rabbit get a first or second turn Logia or Dolka off? It's enough to make you cringe when you actually sit down and think about it. Like, mathematically speaking, opening with one card out of your 40 in your opening hand is something around a 15% chance. I'm pretty sure I saw someone posting that, and they did all the math and stuff on it. Like, does anyone remember Trap Dust Shoot? That is another broken trap card that was at 1 that could be a game changer, especially when you would open it with it first turn. And I remember getting first turn Dust Shooted a lot, and I remember doing it more often than not. And I remember opening it in my old X-Saber deck, like, I don't know, probably half of the time. So that 15% chance, while it means 15 times out of 100 you open with it, it doesn't specify that every 100 games you would only open with it 15 times. It's just unlikely, but unlikely stuff seems to happen. But anyway, I just don't think that giving these top tier decks a card like Royal Oppression is something that we need to be doing. Even if they get hit again and get a little worse, then the Fire Fists will have Royal Oppression too. And they already do enough stuff. I mean, there's just so many decks that would just be nuts if they got back Oppression. Anyway, guys, that's my little rant. This is Vunter/MG. Comment, rate, subscribe. Have a good day.